Guess what? It's Wednesday, and that means it's time for In the Kitchen with Miss Paula Harmonica Mama. We'll have lots of fun. See ya. Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome to this week's episode of In the Kitchen with Miss Paula Harmonica Mama. Well, the weather report says it's going to be getting down in the 40s for the next few nights. And so that tells me we are headed directly towards sweater weather and soup weather. So today, we're going to be making black bean soup. And this is a vegan recipe. I made it for my late husband, Bob, when he was on the Dean Ornish program, and I've tweaked it a little bit. So, excuse me. I do need to get some cumin out of here. And this is another recipe from our family cookbook because my family also really ended up enjoying this. Okay, and I've made it for Bernie. And it's one of those things that if you need something like really quick, you can use all canned ingredients. I'm not doing that tonight because I needed to use up some of the tomatoes from my garden. So, are you everything okay there?
Yep.
He's playing around with the tripod, so. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of olive oil here in this saucepan and let it get hot here. I should have been doing that while I was yakking. But it is going to have onion, potato, vegetable stock, and black beans, and cumin, and garlic powder in it. And it takes just a little while for the potatoes to cook. It also has some diced tomato in it. Normally I would use canned petite diced tomatoes, but since I had a bunch of little tiny cherry tomatoes and some Roma tomatoes that didn't grow real big, I just chopped them up. So I'm going to be using that this evening. Okay, so I need to let this get a little bit hotter, I do believe. Oh, nope, it's ready. So I'm putting it, excuse me. What do you say, Ollie? Did you hear something go on the stove? Come on. You gonna say hello? Nope. You're just gonna stand there. As soon as he heard that sizzle, one of the dogs came running in the kitchen. So I'm gonna saute these until they are kind of translucent and you can kind of start smelling them. I remember the first time I made this for Bernie when we were still dating, and he said afterwards, because I used the canned tomatoes then, and he's like, I wasn't real sure about all those cans, and that's going to be something good, but he has since enjoyed it. I need just a couple more minutes here. It's smelling good. I really like the smell of onion sauteing. It just smells homey or something. Bernie and I have been on a long trek. We went to go visit his brother in Gulfport, Mississippi, and we stayed in a really bad motel in Biloxi. But if you check out my personal Facebook page, Paula Stewart Tilley, you can see our saga. And I have a lot of folks that have given me some advice about what to do about it and how to avoid getting in that situation again. So I'm going to take them up on it. All right, so I've got my onions. They're all kind of nice and sauteed there. Now it's smelling good. Now, to this, I am going to add 2 cans of black beans. Now, if you wanted to do this totally from scratch, you could use dried beans and soak them and do all that. That's fine. I I have several friends too that are vegan, and this is a vegan recipe. Okay, so I've got the black beans in there, I've got the onions in there, and to that I'm going to add one chopped up potato, and it's chopped up fine. And the potato is in there to kind of give it a little bit of texture. And then I would add like a 12-ounce can of petite diced tomatoes if I were using canned tomatoes, but I'm using a variety actually of fresh tomatoes. I've got some cherry tomatoes in here and some Roma tomatoes and some other mystery tomatoes that grew, and I'm not really sure what they are, but they only get about that big and they don't get real red. They turn yellow and then they kind of turn orange, but they're really good. So they're going in there. Now, I am going to add some vegetable stock. And it's going to be about 2 to 3 cups, just kind of depending on how things get absorbed. So I'm just going to pour some in here. That really looks about right. And to that, I am going to add some cumin and garlic powder. So I've got I'm going to put in 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. And I like cumin. So this says 1 to 2 tablespoons of cumin. I'm going to add 2. Yeah. Okay, so that's it. It's that easy. And like I said, you know, you can even make it easier if you're using the canned tomatoes. So what we're going to do is we are going to send that cumin stuck to the spoon. Here we go. We're just going to let this heat up and let the tomatoes cook. So we're going to sign off, and we will be back with you in a little bit when this heats up. All right, so this soup has been cooking, maybe 20 minutes. The ideal thing that you want to do is make sure that the potatoes are done. And so it's nice and piping hot. So Bernie's going to help me here. And we're going to come over here.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Can you still see me?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're going to, this is what it looks like in here. And we're just going to put in a couple of spoonfuls here. And we'll set this back on the stove. And like I said, this is vegan, but I'm not vegan. So I make it not vegan, and I think it's really tasty this way. Now, when I do have friends that are vegan, and with the Dean Ornish program, we could use Greek yogurt, so you could use yogurt instead of sour cream. But this looks really nice and tastes really good with, I need a little more sour cream in there. I love sour cream. I do. Okay. And we're going to put a little slice of lime on there and sprinkle a little cilantro. And there you have this beautiful bowl of soup. And let's just check it out here. We'll squeeze the lime in a little bit. Oh yeah, here we go. Mm-hmm. And we're going to eat it with some Ritz crackers. And we'll have a nice, light, low-cal, pretty much low-carb dinner tonight. And that's kind of what we're both looking at. Y'all take care. We'll see you next time. And love y'all. Bye-bye.